Still live on the Wednesday's edition of the Statecraft here on Zylofon 102.1 FM. It is now time to go into a very major discussion for the morning, and we are talking about the kissing priest. I would ask our technical men to put up the video for you to see, and we'll go into the discussions. I mean, the Anglican Church had come out with a decision, and we'll be talking about that. I'll let Samira break the issues down while the video projects. So Samira, let's go straight into that conversation.
Right. So someone will say we were minding our business on Monday, and then we saw this happening. We saw that there was a video. It even started like a joke. You know, someone just posted a casual video online, and we saw the priest kissing 3 girls. So from what people have said, from what some students have said from the schools, that a lot of all the girls he was rewarding them for good behavior. So one was the chaplain prefect, and then she's done, so she's hardworking and all of that. And another one also went home without exit, so she was taking off her duties, but she kept on working as though nothing has happened. If it's someone, the person go back, they're not participating actively in any other activity. And so those 3 girls were good girls in his own words, and so he was kind of rewarding them for being good
right
girls.
So for those of you who are watching on TV and also on Facebook, the video is up. You can watch what exactly we're talking about. This is what has become the holy kiss. That's what Samira is talking about. So yeah, go ahead.
So it came online, and some of us thought that it was a movie scene or something, because we didn't understand how and why a reverend priest will be kissing students in a manner like this. And for me, it was the 3rd girl that even drew my attention to the fact that she wasn't even it wasn't anything that she was happy about, because you notice that she had her marks on, and then the priest was saying that she should remove it and all of that. Anyway, the Anglican Church has condemned the act. They've apparently sacked him, and he happens to be the lawyer of the school. And a lot of people, even yesterday during some discussions, a colleague says that while she was there, it's something that happens, but if you go report, they say, the school's image. So a lot of some of these things go unpunished. And so the information available online is that he's a staff of Ghana Education Service. He's a trained lawyer. He acts as a lawyer for the Ashanti Regional Chapter of GES, and also a member of the GES disciplinary committee in the Ashanti region.
The priest.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah, he is. He's a lawyer of the school, and also acts as a lawyer of the Ashanti regional chapter of the GES. So you see, so the whole issue now, girls are beginning to talk about some of these things. They are saying that this is not the first time, and even during his sermons, he makes some funny comments, sexual jokes, and it's an all-girls school. So in as much as a lot of them don't really like, and looking at his portfolio, who are you going to report this person to? Yeah. So it's just a combination of a lot of issues. Well, I'm glad he's been relieved of his duties, and I think that.
But it is a holy kiss. This is a man of God, and he tells you that it's a holy kiss. That is like actually bringing you closer to God.
Actually, we haven't really heard him say it is a holy kiss. It's a tag on social media that people gave him, that it's a holy kiss, because I mean, what is a priest doing giving girls kisses? But in any case, the holy kiss in the Bible is not gendered, and so I'm wondering why he's just kissing only the girls.
But it's a girls' school.
No, but then there are staff members who are male. Even if you look further, you see someone in red, a male in red sitting. Can you see?
Is that a male? That's a girl.
That's a girl. But then there are workers in the schools that are male.
But they seem excited.
I don't think it's excitement.
So what is that? I can see.
I find it quite, because the fact that they make noise.
The 3rd lady was uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, she was very uncomfortable.
Very, very, and she's the reason a lot of people are calling for, because he even asked them to remove their marks.
But that was too long.
Yeah.
Well, so these are the issues, Yeah.
No, but okay, let me take your thoughts on it. I mean, you just narrated the story. Let me take your perspective on the issue before I come to Elom.
I'm happy that he's been relieved of his duty as a priest, and also as a person who a lot of students have some trust in you. I don't think some of these things are things you do. And for some schools that these girls report some of these issues to, don't say the brand image of the school and all of that, and so you let these things go under the carpet. It is good that this thing has come to light. We are grateful to the whoever recorded it and decided to share it on social media, but I'm glad that this particular thing, the Anglican Church has spoken about it. But really what worries me is the fact that they say they'll investigate. Professor your man Prophet Odro is saying that this one doesn't need investigation. The evidence is there clear. So
yeah, but if you have evidence, the natural.
And then his argument is that it is the police who can do thorough investigation.
No, but even the police will rely on internal processes. I mean, you can go to court and they will ask you to go back and exhaust internal in fact, those are in civil cases anyway. But in a criminal case, of course, then the police can also heavily rely on the internal investigative processes.
And then his argument is because he's one of them, the investigation is, he fears for how maybe people are going to compromise on some of these things.
But if they are done, the police can still take up and do their own investigation.
As for him, he's not happy. He says
Elom's man.
Yeah, you should hear him. He says that if God hasn't called you, you can go and sell fools or go and sell cassava. You don't wear.
That's also another scam. The God called me is another scam on its own. I don't want to go into that. I mean, how does God call somebody? All of them are parading with their baggages, they all have their baggages, and then you turn around and behave as though you are some angel and God called you, and someone else there God didn't call. I mean, how does God call? Is it through your mobile phone or what? People get up and say God has called them. They themselves say How do we know that indeed you were called by a certain God of Israel?
Well,
Elon, let me pick your thoughts on this.
First of all, Prof. Odro, who is I'm still looking for his church. I don't know if.
But he was preaching around your hood some time ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
You should have got down and went to say hi to him.
It was too hot in the afternoon and I was already tired. No, this is a very big issue, and I don't like the way we are trivializing, simplifying, and making so much fun of this rightly unethical an issue that borders on some level of incivility, an issue that shouldn't even be tolerated within the framework within which it's happening. First of all, a school. Secondly, within another level where the school is purportedly being administered by a church, and the actors involved in this incivility, a priest and young woman. So on these three scores, you don't expect. You and I went to a Catholic school, and we know the level of discipline within these spaces, and as to how these things are allowed. You see, when things happen like this, it is not on face value. It means that there is a certain tacit culture of acceptance that the priest, probably in camera or out of the view of the public, does these things. Yes, I'm not on a slippery slope argument for anyone to come out to the church in the open and begin to kiss. That's not even a kiss. He was basically chewing on the lips of this young woman. That's because the third young lady in the video, if America can roll the video again, the young lady was obviously resisting, and the priest, Mr. Reverend Father Bataza or Bin Labi, but I don't know what the first name of him means. Sounds kissing this young woman, forcing, he grabbed the head of the young woman and pounced on her lips. That's what he did. and you are wondering what sort of. So these things, do they happen? Are these the things that young ladies within colleges of education go through with purported priests who are there to, I don't know, is it spiritual, whatever, or whatever
to
they
protect
do,
the spiritual welfare of the
and however it is that they continue to do
spiritual
this.
welfare.
See, this is wrong on all levels. On every single level, this is wrong. That someone you don't have any romantic relationship with is taking advantage of young people, and these are the power dynamics we continue to speak about. It is exploiting the power dynamic, first of all, as a priest.
As someone who's older, someone who is in a higher authority than the.
Yes, these priests, they appear so saintly in cassock, and they use all the power of the text in the Bible and adduce all manner of reasons for doing all these things, this indecent behavior. It is so wrong. And if I had a daughter who was filmed and has gone through this, I'm jumping on the next bus to the St. Monica's. No, I'm not going to allow this. And we shouldn't joke about these things.
But what are you going to do?
Oh, you should.
What will you jump on the bus to do?
I'm going to look for the crook.
And do what?
Grab him by the neck.
Oh, massa.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you're a joker. If what he did is illegal, why would you go and do another illegality to solve the illegal?
No, but that's not illegality.
You're going to jump on someone's neck?
No. That is, I'm expressing to him how I feel. That is an expression of feeling. The police will handle the illegality.
The two of you.
No, the police can't handle me.
The police will pick the two of you up.
He has psychologically tortured.
Yeah, that's true.
Young women. This video is circulating.
Yeah, and it's going viral.
So if this young, what if this young women were married? Because colleges of education, you can get married and still be in the school, or probably you have a boyfriend, you have a fiance, you are planning to get married, and on the screens, and I watch you latching on the lips of a supposed father, Reverend Balthazar Labi Obin, who I understand is within the GES. Again, it's within the GES.
I think the GES ought to be purged. Recently, Teacher Kojo has been on a certain campaign against the GES.
Fixed GES.
And he started the fixed GES, and he's not getting the attention he should get from Ghanaians. I'm surprised.
We are going to spend some amount of money this time this morning, within some 5 minutes. And you see, I would merge this issue because the guy is a staff of the GES, the Reverend Father. Okay? Because all the colleges of education, first of all, are also under the Ghana Education Service. In fact, every other school in this country under the colleges are under the Ghana Education Service. I'm sure, apart from the universities,
from the
university, which is under the National Council for Tertiary Education. So he's a staff of the GES, and you see, a lot of the times, those senior personnel within the GES, they arrogate themselves a lot of powers because they have like-minded people at the superior level, and when issues, if this thing didn't come on camera or wasn't captured on camera,
I doubt if the colleges of education are under G. I'll find out. I'll find that out. But I mean, make a point. It doesn't in any way deflate what you're saying.
Then this happens. He's been relieved of his duties, but it doesn't end there. You see, when issues of this nature come up, we need to move beyond what is happening in St. Monica's and have a sound appreciation of what happens in other colleges of education, and probably even scale it down to secondary schools. And this whole thing is about sexual exploitation. That's the whole thing. People exploiting power dynamics. I'm a teacher, you are a student. I'm a priest, I'm a chaplain, you are a student. Come and do this for me. They touch these students anyhow. They hold parts of their bodies, they touch their breasts. Some of them jokingly even spank their ass, they spank their buttocks every now and then. They do it. Young ladies go to staff common rooms, and some of the comments that are passed at them, and the ways the eyes of these teachers pierce onto certain parts of their bodies, you would wonder, it makes them feel very uncomfortable. Lots of these young women don't do a lot of the things they do. How can a basic school teacher impregnate 3 people? And these things, sometimes making all manner of promises, giving them undue advantages, marking the scripts far above that of the class, and giving them small money, 1 cedis, 2 cedis, especially in deprived areas. The GES, I understand they have anti-sexual harassment policies and issues of conduct and all of that. But these things, no, it's totally unacceptable. And then again, we need to still continue, because when this fasting and prayer thing came up during sometime last month or last 2 months, we're discussing the role of the church in these schools. We are back here again. The role of the church in 2021 in educating students. You see, first of all, what it does is that it limits the adventure, it limits the dynamism, it limits the acquisition of knowledge by students, colleges of education, because they are trained in a certain way. They are made to think in a certain way. This is an Anglican school. Of course, Anglican doctrines, religious doctrines, and it is merged within the educational training, what to do and what not to do and all of that. Why must people who are supposed to teach even be framed in a certain way? How then do they challenge other knowledge, other doctrines? How then do they question? Because within the religious fraternity, you are even taught not to question anything. How can you question something? The way and manner these colleges of education and these churches still have leverages over these schools, for me, I think it is still too much. It is still too much. And these are the kind of things you see where the priest feels that, well, first of all, this is a school that is superintended by the church. This is a school where I have a certain saintly responsibility. This is a school where I think that, you see, if he knows what the rules are, he knows that within a typical college of education, what he did is not supposed to do it. But he feels that because I am a priest, I can arrogate to myself certain powers I don't have. And that is what he did. And this thing, outrightly, the guy should be arrested, number one. Questioned.
So you think they're asking him to stop?
Oh, no, what are you talking about?
The work is not enough.
But it's not enough. This is humiliation. This is undue advantage of taking undue advantage. This is exploitation.
What criminal charges would I've been struggling to find out?
No, this is certainly not criminal. But
then he can't be arrested then.
He cannot be arrested.
But I think where the issue can come in is if the what's it called? If the ladies feel raped, feel forced to do something sexually that they are not comfortable with or did not consent to, then the criminal angle can come in here. Yeah, and per the video, if you want to use the video as prima facie, and the resistance of the third lady, who obviously in the pictures you saw that she didn't want to kiss the man. The guy grabbed her neck and pushed her closer to him and did that. But I'm just appalled, okay, about even the decision to even do that in the first place. Like, what is this? I don't understand. You teach, okay, you are not a priest, but you teach. What sort of congratulations? To what extent can you even congratulate someone? As a man or as a teacher, you are not even supposed to hug your student. Yeah, you don't do that. Like, don't do it. You can't do that. Because where the student is not comfortable, they can't tell you. But that is not even part of your work. Your work is not physical contact, bodily contact to a certain level. How can you do that? And he doesn't even care. He's in the open and he's just dishing out kisses. I don't think he knew he was going to be recorded. And I'm hoping that nothing happens to the one who records, because I saw some reports saying they are looking for the person who recorded that and put out there, because they tarnish that the nonsense again. But they can't even do anything to that person. Well, if they do, we may not know. If it comes out to the public, then if it comes out, well, yeah.
If it doesn't, and we should encourage anyone at all
to record such things.
And why anyone at all should be investigated for recording such a thing? Why should that even be? The Reverend Father is even a lawyer, and I understand he speaks for the GES at the Ashanti region.
So he should know better.
Yes, he's not a layman. He knows these things. You see, so when people know stuff but they go ahead and do them, that is where the problem comes in. You know? And you see, the colleges of education are training grounds for would-be teachers. You know, and teachers, okay, or students learn by impartation. They learn from what they see, from designs. So are they saying that when teachers eventually finish their training and go back to the classroom,
they should go and replicate some of these things?
Yeah.
Because people teach the way they were taught.
But that is what it is. If you were taught in a certain way, that's why I'm saying that the framing of colleges of education, even within a certain religious perspective, is even problematic. Because this is the problem we keep getting. Because somebody doesn't understand why another person should fast in a school that is purported to be a Christian school. You get a problem because you've been limited in your understanding and diversity and appreciation of different cultures, religion, and practices.
And the principle of inclusion has evaded you.
Yes. So these things are exclusionary from the beginning. And you meet every single trained teacher and they come to the class, let's pray. Let's pray, and when they close, they are praying. These are the things they learn amidst the kisses. These are the things they learn in the school. They waste like 1 hour. They can pray for 1 hour. In the afternoon, they will pray. After closing, they will pray. We know schools where 12 o'clock Friday afternoon they pray after lunch till they close for the day.
Yeah.
What is this?
When I was in JSS,
that's what you were doing.
We used to pray. We used to go for worship on Wednesday or Friday morning. We spend about 2 hours there, drumming, and then we go and we do collections. We pay offertory.
What is this?
Our monies that were given to come and feed in school, buy KK and all of that. You were under some psychological coercion to go and put the money in there. Because if you don't get up, people will watch you and say, you didn't get up.
Contribute to teacher absenteeism. Because during these periods, you won't find teachers around the school.
Yeah.
At the moment, we are doing 9% teacher absenteeism. 9%. So the times that teachers are supposed to be in school, they are not there.
9% of it is not in there.
So 91% of the time the teachers are in school, but the 9% of the times they are not there.
Yeah.
But you are supposed to be in school. Okay, you are supposed to be there.
Alon, before you wrap up with the point, let me invite our listeners to send us a thought on what they think. Send us their thoughts on this very issue. You can send us a text on 0266 660 735. 0266 660 735. Let us know what you think about this particular issue. Whether you think that asking the priest to go home is enough punishment. What exactly do you think we should do? If you think what he did is not wrong, let us know. I have some messages that are coming in through our Facebook platform. I'll be reading them in a short while. I think someone was asking if okay, so the very first message I have here says, good morning, Nuchigan Change, great topic, well done. And this says, and that's from It's Your Boy Power. And this is from Jean Banyu. He says, thanks very much for the motivational speech. And Geoshua, okay, says, wow, Elom, if not for TV, I never knew you are my own brother. I have been listening to you on radio since. I'm proud of you. This is Joshua Dosu from Agbozuma. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you know him?
No.
Okay.
But that's some home support.
Yeah, home support.
Yeah.
Anyway, so maybe you know him, but not the name.
Yeah, I'd have to check that out.
Anyway, this one is from Jean Banyu again. He says, religion has really done more harm than good. This is mental slavery because this girl is afraid to deny the priest the kiss because they think through the priest that they will go to heaven. Some Ghanaians need to emancipate themselves from mental slavery, especially some of our women. And these are some of the messages that are coming in through our Facebook platform. I'll also read some that are coming in through our WhatsApp platform as well, but you can also send us a text on our WhatsApp line. So our WhatsApp line is projected for those of you who are watching on TV and also on Facebook. You can see the WhatsApp line is 0266 660 735. This one says, good morning, Noel. Please, what happened to the sports show yesterday evening? I was waiting, but nothing happened. Gloria Mause Mensa, a silent listener from Northridge. There was an activity here in the premises of Zylofon, and so that was what stalled our programs on radio yesterday. So we apologize for that, but definitely the sports team will be back on your airwaves today. So, Elon, wrap up with your point quickly. And all right, I have another message coming in. This one says, I think this issue needs an intensive investigation. Personally, I think the third girl wasn't retrogressing from the action, rather was poised and to enjoy the kiss. And I'm sure the ladies volunteered. Well, so you see, in this volunteerism or this consent would be the fact that it's a power play. So a lot of people will be scared of what the priest will say or can do to them, and because of that, they would appear as though they were enjoying what was happening, but they may not necessarily be enjoying it. And I'm particularly happy that the Anglican Church has organized a counseling session for these girls, because obviously the virality of the video is going to have some impact on their psychology. You know, how the video had gone viral would have some great impact on them. And so I'm happy they have organized some counseling service for them. And they ought to get into a good psychological shape to be able to forge on.
The religious hierarchy themselves need the counseling. See, the counseling is not only for the victims, but for the perpetrators of the act themselves. Constantly, these priests must be reminded of their place in society, because these churches, without any disrespect, certainly hold a conscience of society and one of the important domains of society. They have a place within the educational setup. That is why at the College of Education there is a priest to provide some religious or spiritual lessons. But it is not peculiar to the St. Monica's College of Education alone. These things happen in almost every other educational setup, where there is always one issue or the other. So if you have decided to go and provide counseling services for the victims or the affected, what about the priest? So if you sack him from the school, where is he heading to next? Is he taking the same behavior to the next place of assignment? That's what we need to do, because almost every time you're counseling for the victims, what about the man needs to be counseled himself? Okay, he needs to be counseled and be told that what you did, it is contrary to our principles, our rules, our laws. No, do you know why a lot of the times legalities are not always spoken about within the educational sector, where he's 16 years, or for certainly it's rape, but above 16 years you can have sexual relation with anyone at all, anyway, so far as there is consent. But you see, within the educational space, the reason why it is discouraged is that a lot of these relationships are not mutual. The students are scared or afraid to say no to their superiors, to the teachers, to the priests, and all of that, because of the consequences, because of targeting, because of fear that they would be marked down, they will fail them, because of fear of victimization, and because of a lot of things. So within the school setup, it is not about they are of age and they can make decisions on their own. There's so much power exploitation. And also the trainee students, they're being treated like kids. There are times they wake up, they wear their uniforms, they go back to
they go to prep
and
the
all
training colleges,
you know.
Yeah.
So even if you go to the training college today, you think you are a big boy. Yeah, you think you're a big boy, you are lecturing. They should throw you back to Peking College of Education.
See, I'll just die.
Yeah. You leave your car at home and you stop wearing these fancy things you are wearing.
Yeah.
This headphone.
You have your uniform.
Yeah. Your wife and your kids will
There'll
come
be a
and visit you.
dining time.
They will wait for you at the garden seat for you to come looking unkempt. And they will come, they will see you, they will go back, and when it's 5 o'clock, they will play the drum. So you see, psychologically, there's a certain crash on you, and that relationship is so subservient that you don't even want to make a mistake, because already you are just waiting for the 2 years to finish for you to go for your outposting and all of that. So this psychological conditioning of these students already make them overtly subservient. So to go ahead and say no to your father, and you say Reverend Father, that psychological, it invokes a lot of superiority. You can't say no. That is why the school setup discourages any form of sexual relationship. Even if the person is 50 years, don't do it. Okay, because they know the power balance. That is why these things.
And it's not only in the schools. Some workplaces, a superior cannot get married to a junior or a subordinate. Even in the military, an officer cannot get married to other ranks. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not.
Oh yeah, in the military. So the officers typically would begin from the lieutenant rank to captain to major to lieutenant colonel, and any other thing else is an appointment. So all of these people in this rank cannot get married to the other ranks. Now the other ranks will begin from private, then you go to lance corporal, then corporal, then sergeant, then staff sergeant, then W 1 and 2. So all the people in the ranks I have just mentioned, lance corporal, sergeant, private, soldier, and so on and so forth. You can't get married to anyone who is in the officer's rank from lieutenant upwards. You can't do that.
No. You see, you see the power of the teacher in the classroom. You know why? There is a captain in my class and there's a colonel in my class.
Okay.
And the relationship, the respect, you feel no, this is a different terrain. Because primarily I understand what it even means. Even at my level, because when we are out of the classroom, these guys are top military and police gurus. You dare not. But within the class, the power dynamic informally sets the rules. There is one superior, there is one student, there is one who determines whether you pass or not, there is one who supervises your dissertations and all of that. So imagine even men, that relationship is there no matter how old you are. One is your teacher and one is the student. So transpose this particular psychological arrangement to the colleges of education, where for them they are trainees. They will play the drum, you go and eat, they determine what you eat, how you eat, what you wear, what time you go to the class and all of that, and you sleep in dormitories within the school. So it is just so difficult, okay, for these young ladies to say that, oh father, I can't do this. And the religious implications already, that you are saying no to God, to God,
to man of God,
you are saying no to man of God. It is your friends will even tell you that, hey, you have to do it. These people, he's our Reverend Father. These things, all manner of criminality, thievery. They know, and the men know. You see, they know that they are exploiting these young people using their position. Using the fact that they are Reverend Fathers, using the religion, using and he's even a lawyer. So there are intersections, and Samira has always been explaining intersections. A lawyer, he is a Reverend Father, probably he is married with kids, and all of these things come to play and affect the decision that these young ladies make. So it's a big problem. We need to continue to speak about it, and also the teachers who are taking advantage of these young students. It is not right. Allow the children, let them finish school, and you can go and chase them. At least that is okay, and we cannot have any power.
That one, is genuine.
Yes,
they genuinely love it.
So that you don't coerce anybody to say yes to you because, well, I don't want you to target me. And some of these basic school teachers, the way they can flog the students,
the ones who say no,
I'm telling you, they will flog.
And worst of all, if they find out that you are saying no, but there is a certain boy, that boy is dead.
You've experienced that before?
Of course, yes. I've been a victim. You know me, when I was in JSS, I had a small camera. I've been doing photography, so I take pictures and go and print.
La photo.
Yeah, photo. I was a senior photo.
Yeah.
I'll go and print and sell. You know, that's one of my means of making money. And because of pictures, so generally you attract
photos.
You attract a lot of you attract a lot of the female, my female colleagues who are my classmates and so on and so forth. And some teachers were interested in some of them, and trust me, because they would ordinarily gravitate towards me. There was one man who seized my camera.
A teacher.
Yeah, a teacher. He seized my camera, and I asked what was my offense. He couldn't explain.
So was it for free or you snap?
No, I take money.
Hey,
I take money. I've always been a businessman from infancy. I've always been a businessman. So I became a serious victim of that. This man seized my camera, and he had to take. He didn't know who I was. He didn't know my mom was a head teacher herself.
So you know that was Madam's son.
Yeah. So when my mom got there, Charlie,
you were a village champ back in the day.
Of course. I was a village champion.
Wow.
I was a bourgeoisie in the village. Teachers, Madam's son. Yeah.
You see how teaching is noble.
Oh yeah, that's always been, but very poor.
Yeah. Bad guys at the Ghana Education Center.
Unfortunately. Anyway, I have some messages that are trooping in. Let me read some of the messages that are coming in. This one says, good morning to you all. My brothers, because it's an Anglican institution, that's why the laws of morality is working. Had it been in other churches like Obinim or Bofo and other pastors, will these things had escalated this way? I am a Muslim, but I like the tradition of Anglicans and Catholics. Yakubu from Netis, Ghana, and he sent that one in. Another message here says, hi Noel, good morning. You see the reason why I don't go to church? Bless inside La Paz. He's sending this one in. Bless Ayako Church, Jaisa. This one says, good morning, Mr. Nichuga and your crew. Okay. This one says, Elom, I am proud of you. Your thoughts are deep. I am suspecting he's been sleeping with them. GS should look into the matter. Pa Nana Abrantier sent this one in. And this one says, good morning, host. Please let your co-host know that he is not a Catholic priest and is only in the Catholic Church uses father. Okay. But the Anglican Church do not use father, but they use reverend. And also for the Anglican priest marriage, the Anglican priest marry, but the Catholics do not. Okay, so I think that's just some correction. I mean, in the heat of the, if people are so emotional about this, in the heat of it, so reverend fathers are only akin to the Catholic Church.
Then the media has also been making some misrepresentation because, of course, reverend father.
So it's a reverend. It's reverend, not reverend father. The reverend fathers are only because the Anglican priests can marry. So we are safe.
Church of England.
Yeah, we are safe if we say priests. Priests. Anyway, this one says, good morning, Noel. Please, what is wrong with that? What the priest did is according to the Christianity law. Are Christians ashamed of their law book, which is the Bible? Romans 16:16 talks about what the priest did. So if they are ashamed of it, they should throw it away. Pizarro from Anya sent that one in. Samara, please look for Romans 16:16. Let's see what is there.
I think it will be the verse that says that when you meet your colleagues, you greet them with holy keys. I fully suspect.
Really? But if that's it, then the priest has a point.
Romans 16:16.
Yeah, look for it. You look for it while I read the rest of the messages. So Romans 16:16, we'll get that. This one says, good morning, I'm John from Kaswa. This issue is really serious. The same way some pastors have to do the youths in church. They've been sleeping with them anyhow, all in the name of positions. This one is from Don Yaro Anayan Kancherawana. He says, good morning, Noel, Elom and Samira. These religious things in Ghana, some are killing. We the youth, even not serious of our Bible study and Makranta as we know. Happy birthday to Yusuf, my Akunta. Okay, so Yusuf, today's your birthday. Don Yaro says happy birthday. Anayan Kancherawansa. Anyway, this one says, good morning, senior. This is total madness. And I think this is not the first time the priest is doing this. And thank God his cup is full. If this video hadn't come out, how would we have known that there is something going on in there? Yeah, I think so too. This one says, I am Ali Wonder from Pantine, Abokobi. For the priest, or maybe here is trying to go by the principles of the Bible. Kiss one another with a holy kiss. If the priest is saying that is why he kissed the children, I'm sure it will be a very strong argument. But I'll go into that discussion shortly. This one says the priest needs to be arrested. Thank the guest for coming today. Okay, there is no guest in the studio. The one who's speaking is actually a regular co-host. This one says, I'm Collins from Tardy, watching you live. All right, thank you so much, Collins. And this one says, good morning, Noel, and your crew. The priest needs to be prosecuted. I support Elam. Abdul Aziz Bawa sent that one in. So, yeah, these are the issues. Samira, now tell us Romans 16:16. What does this say?
It says that greet one another with a holy kiss. That is it. It's as brief as that. So that is what the guy is saying from the text, that if this is what the Reverend Minister is basing his argument on, then he's right. But I don't think really.
Samira, read the entire Romans 16.
Okay,
let's see where it begins from, what exactly they are saying before they got to 16. All right,
then hold on. You have to hold on.
You don't have a Bible on your phone?
I do have a Bible.
Oh, actually. Samira,
I have to. I have two versions, so I have to take it to the ones that are quite.
Elam, don't you have a Bible on your phone?
For Elam, don't even.
I don't have a Bible on my phone, but I have Romans 16, the King James version.
You have the King James version.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here.
You are there? Okay, yes. Let's read and see.
So this is Romans 16, the Message Bible version. It says, be sure to welcome our friend Phoebe in the way of the Master with all the generous hospitality we Christians are famous for. I heartily endorse both her work and her work. She's a key representative of the church at Sintra. Help her out in whatever she asks. She deserves anything you can do for her. She's helped many a person, including me. Say hello to Priscilla and Aquila, who have worked hand in hand with me in serving Jesus. They once put their lives on the line for me, and I'm not the only one grateful to them. All the non-Jewish gatherings from believers also owe them plenty, to say nothing of the church that meets in their home, in their house. Hello to, so it's like shout out.
No, so that's the point. So he's actually, so the verse is actually talking about people who've done good in the church, right? And you continue the shout outs, we don't mind.
Okay, so it says hello to my dear friend Epenitus, who was the very first follower of Jesus in the province.
Which verse is that?
Why are you now? Message.
Why are you now? Which verse? Verse
16, verse 6.
6, okay.
Yeah.
We have a long way to go.
Then hello to Mary, what a worker she has turned out to be.
Jump to
hello to my cousins. Is that way? Then to 16.
To 15.
To 15. It says hello to Philologus, Julia, and his sister Olympus, and all the followers of Jesus who lived with them. And then my version, Message Bible, says holy embraces all around. All the churches of Christ send their warmest greetings.
Oh, okay.
Holy embraces, so like hugs.
All around.
Okay. So it's not the message is not saying that.
Which of the, let me see. This is King James.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Message.
Yours is Message. Okay, so King James says salute one another with a holy.
Read the 16. Read the 15, 14. Let's start from 14.
So salute Philologus and Julia, Neros and his sister, and
his sister Samira.
Yes, and Olympus and all the saints which are with them. And 16 says salute one another with a holy kiss. The churches of Christ salute you. know of.
So okay, so it doesn't say that if you meet your fellow your
people
brethren.
just oversimplify it.
Okay.
No, well, I have studied a bit of Bible knowledge before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've done
Hey,
that.
amigos.
Amigos.
But I'm a generalist. I like to move around.
Okay, tell me about
We
it.
know kisses in the Bible. We've seen Jesus kiss people, at least in the representations and in the text. And we know where the kisses land. We know that. Okay, it is not for you to get up and go and stand by the roadside and in the name of people who have helped the church, then you would be latching onto the lips and be drinking saliva from the mouth. I'm not sure that's what the Bible is saying. But besides, St. Monica's is not administered by a Christian law. That is what is fundamental.
Yeah.
The laws that govern colleges of education, irrespective of which church has that arrangement with the Ministry of Education, is not administered by Christian laws, where they say that the entire St. Monica's is subjected to a certain Christian law from the Bible. And when you find a misbehaving priest, then you pull up the Bible. Anybody at all can pull up any text from the Bible. Okay, kisses could be anything. Kisses could be on your cheek, and that is what it is.
Yeah.
You understand? Kiss.
It could be on the forehead.
It could be on the forehead. It could be anything.
But those ones too they are problematic.
Yes, they are.
Especially in this cultural setting. I think considering the cultural context also, I don't think is anything for the Romans and even the West. So I had a friend who was born outside, and when she came to senior high school, she assumed that it is easy to just give people pegs, hugs, and all of that. And so she did so well in one course, and then the in SHS they'll call you for your script, they'll give you your script out and say good things about you. So when the teacher was done, she gave the teacher a peg and come and see. They called her to the staff common room and all of that, and she was confused as to what was really happening.
Yeah. So
when her parents came and they said, oh, it's just a way of appreciation. That is how she was brought up. And so since then, even if you are hugging her on campus, if you want to shake her hand, she won't allow you. It's because of how she was brought up. But in this country, that is something that is not as normal as it is from where that particular scripture is coming from. So people just blow it out of cultural proportion and they make a lot of...
This conversation, I know you have some messages.
Yeah, let me just
take those messages.
Quickly. This one says, hi, my brothers, please, the holy keys we are talking about now, the holy keys we are all talking about now, it's only the Catholics or the Pope who does this, and the kiss is not directly to the lips of an individual but your cheeks. My name is Daniel. Okay, so Daniel sent that one in. This one says, hi Noel, this is Michael from East Legon. I agree the priest should be punished on all levels. Okay, but I strongly disagree with what Elom is saying about religion in our schools. Noel, if it wasn't for these things, I am not sure we will be this meek, because it's only Christianity and religion, for that matter, that's making in 90% of people behave. Oh, really? Like the country would be in total mess. Okay, there are other countries that don't practice Christianity, but they are not in total mess. It says like I would be worse than Taliban's put together. Okay, all right. Well, that's your opinion, and I respect that. This one says every offline in Ghana now that is there. Okay, I don't understand that message. Once in a while, you have messages that come through that you don't understand. This one says, I want to inform you guys that the most of these so-called pastors, prophets, and priests turned what is written in the Bible upside down to their own advantage. Okay, Daniel, send that one. Hello, you're going to wrap up with a point quickly. Let's wrap up with this conversation.
What I want to say is that the laws that govern schools and colleges of education in Ghana are fundamental, and they are not Christian laws. The fact that you have a church that has a role to play within the schools doesn't mean that the church subserves to the laws of whatever, whether it's Anglican church or Catholic church and all of that. to the extent that they only provide spiritual or religious responsibilities, that is where it ends. That is where it ends. So you have a church in a school and it's a Catholic church, so the students would have to subserve to the Catholic doctrines, and that is to the extent to which it ends. That is where it ends. When it comes to discipline, the ethics, the code of ethics come from the overarching government agency, either the Ghana Education Service, which draws its powers from the Ministry of Education. That is what it is. From basic schools to secondary schools, even to the universities, at least the guidelines either formed by the schools and approved by the Council for Tertiary Education. So there is nowhere in our educational architecture where there is any law, where it is the Anglican law which is applying here, it is the Catholic law which is applying here. All of those law is not even a law. It is just an arrangement that is limited for the provision of spiritual and religious needs to these students, which is just to even put a check on their behavior some way, somehow. That is all. And this holy kiss argument, and we know how men of God have interpreted the Bible differently. But that is where it ends, and that is not even a raison d'etre this morning. Our issue this morning is that anyone at all, whoever it is that you are, especially within educational environment, do not take your sexual perverted things to the young ladies. Don't do that. Don't go and use any Bible and kiss people. It is not allowed, because if you were allowed, I'm sure the Anglican Church would have maintained him and defended him. The church itself, from the secular, from its leadership, says that these things they do not encourage, and it was out of place for the priest to have done what he did, and he's been sacked. We need to follow this issue and see whether there is more to what happened at the chapel beyond the case, and probably there is a deep-seated issue of sexual exploitation within that particular college, and probably any other college where people within responsibility and position are exploiting the relationship that they have with these young students. We'll encourage the young students to go for some counseling. We'll encourage them to speak out if indeed these matters are affecting their educational training within the colleges. I know you are getting lots of messages. So
in fact, some controversial messages are coming in. I'll read the less controversial ones and then I'll go to the controversial one. This one says, please, I'm enjoying the show. What I want to say is, can the priest kiss his fellow men as holy kiss, just as he did to the ladies? Kobe from Godly. Send that one in. This one says, good morning, family. These religious leaders are taking advantage of the Bible and abusing us with their doctrines and interpretations. Ghanaians should be vigilant. Eric, send that one in. And this one says, please check if you will still be against what the priest did. The first one is Genesis 29:13. He says, so when Laban heard the news of Jacob, his sister's son, he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to the house. Then he related to the Laban all these things. Now, Genesis 27 chapter 27 verse 26 to 27 says, then his father Isaac said to him, please come close and kiss me, my son. So he came close and kissed him, and when he smelled the smell of his garments, he blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is like da. Okay. Then Genesis 33 verse 4 says, the Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him. Okay, so lots of kisses happening. Genesis 48 verse 10, it says, now the eyes of Israel were so dim from age that he could not see. Then Joseph brought them close to him and kissed them and embraced them. Okay. Then Genesis 29:11, then Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted his voice and wept. Then First Peter chapter 5 verse 14, it says, greet one another with a kiss of love. Peace be unto you all who are in Christ. Okay. Then Luke 15:20 says, so he got up and came to his father, but while he was still a longer way off, his father saw him and felt compassion for him and ran and embraced him and kissed him. Well, so lots of kisses in those verses that were sent in. But I think the argument here is very basic. The argument here is that the laws of the GES, the laws of the country, the laws of the Ministry of Education, which is the umbrella body supervising all of these units of education, is clear. You cannot do some of these things, especially if you're in position of power. So I think that puts the issue to bed.